man who made humility, simple truth, more powerful than empire. And Albert Einstein added, generations to come scarce believe such one as this, ever in flesh, ever blood, walked upon.
One God, one people, one race, one planet. There's too much hatred in the world and we think we can ban it. How can we ignore others' pain while we continue to fan it? You think this can get you where you want, and really can it? It's like we've gone to our respective corners in a boxing ring, and the opponent we're fighting seems to be everything. Our race, our culture, and our language have become more important than peaceful living. We'll carry a grudge to the grave rather than find a way to be forgiving. We're carefully examining other persons so we know how to judge them. And countries fight over the most trivial thing, and there's no way to budge them. A father kills his own daughter because she wants to choose the person she will love. And people line up to be the one to wear the executioner's glove. Some countries have the death penalty for those that have caused the death, so they commit the exact same crime when they choose to take their breath. How long will Israel and Palestine continue to fight before they get it in their heads that they both are right? That the land that they cherish is being blown apart. It's only hatred that they're planting in their children's heart. And there's nobody's God that is endorsing war. What kind of fool do you take me for? Do you think I'm going to believe your lies that you tell each other? While you continue to teach your children how to hate one another? While you tell your 10-year-old sons to write a suicide letter? As if being shot down for your cause will somehow make them better? Meanwhile, the U.S. is busy with the war on terror. They're from the land of the free, but they won't treat anyone fair. How many people's rights have been stolen from them? Well, they've claimed them terrorists, but really, they've become them. And lobbyists are trying to indict George Bush on the war crimes he's committed. But that's too radical an idea. They won't let anyone believe that he did it. The only time it's a war crime is if it isn't the United States. And they've alienated the Islamic people with the anger they propagate. It was the Belgians who fueled the hate between the Tutsi and the Hutu. It was the U.S. that was supporting the corrupt leader Mobutu. And why was the U.S. really in Iraq? Wasn't it because of their oil? And why didn't they go into Rwanda? Wasn't it because they couldn't rape their soil? It used to be the communists, but now it's Islamics. The U.S. calls them fanatical, but really, who are the fanatics? And all the religious fundamentalists have twisted their beliefs to give them power, where they threaten to flog and stone their people, so that all their people have to cower. There's one God looking at us trying to make sense of our need to annihilate. How we've twisted a belief in love and kindness to the prejudice that we make. How far have we moved away from the principles of spirituality, until the need to use it to harm others has become an eventuality. To distort the love of God into discrimination and acts of hate, until religion only leads us down a path to an ugly fate. And we complain there's too many immigrants that are trying to come to our land. But everybody but the native people are immigrants, so I don't understand. You may say you were born in Canada, but your ancestors came from a different place. And they never asked permission of the indigenous people when they destroyed their race. No, they just came in and stole their land and forced them onto a reservation. Then they stole their children and destroyed their culture in the name of preservation. So stop claiming your motives are true and that you are right. The only truth in you is that you have prejudicial sight. How many indigenous people have we left wounded across this earth? How many fanatical wars of hatred have we given a rebirth? How much greed hides in all the actions that we take? How many people must die before we finally awake? Our leaders act like spoiled children fighting in a playground. How long are we going to put up with it and allow them to stay around? When are we going to stand for peace and equality? When are we going to start protecting the ecology? When are we going to raise a flag that stands for all mankind? When are we going to get ahead of our hate and leave our differences behind? How long will we let our leaders lead us into wars against each other? How long will we let them build the walls so we cannot reach each other? How long will we believe the lies they tell us about our fellow humans? How long will they destroy our world until they leave us all in ruins? us. We have a problem on this earth that we need to face. And we can't do anything if we're divided into colors on a map. We've got to tear down the borders and close the gap. The greedy are running the show and they don't care if we lose. And they keep selling us the notion that we have the right to choose. But how much choice do we have when they're selling us lies? So that one half of us live while the other half dies. And they just move us around like pawns in a chess game. And they tell us that all the others are different and we're really all the same. They train our youth to be soldiers so they can fight in their war. When really it's about nothing but to settle their score. And when they come back in a body bag, we're asking what for? How many of our youth need to come back with their minds and bodies tore? They say if we have a question, then we just need to ask it. Well, I just want to know why so many of our kids end up in a casket. You tell us we have the freedom of speech, but then you block the border. So we cannot learn the truth about U.S. torture because it violates your law and order. So you support robbing people of their rights depending on who does it. And your flag's supposed to mean something, can you tell me, just what was it? The world flags are as dangerous as the rag in a gang member's pocket. They're just another excuse to pull out their weapon of war and then cock it. And you can call them soldiers or peacekeepers, but they're all still wearing combat boots. And how the hell can you keep the peace when the peace you're trying to keep has no roots? And what's the point of having peacekeepers when they just stand by and watch a genocide? It's like hospitalizing a person with mental illness and just watching them suicide. We don't need peacekeepers, we need peacemakers. We need people who are life givers, not life takers. We don't need complexity, we need simplicity. We don't need ethnicity, we need complicity. We need to dilute it all down to the basic elements, not act like rats running around in a bunch of rundown tenements. We say that we're the superior species, but where is the evidence? We all need to learn a little bit more benevolence. Stop acting like the chimps we claim we've risen above. It's time to put down the weapons and find a way to learn to love. Because we're one planet, one people, one race, one creator. There's no one on this planet that was made any greater. We all come from a single root, our branches are connected. So when we reject one another, it's us that is rejected. And when we kill one another, it's a part of us that dies. And when we claim we are different, it's just another one of our lies. It's time to stand together and raise a flag with a planet on it. It's time to claim our species as our race and then to don it. It's time to teach our children that we are all the same, so that finally we can find a way to claim our human name. Because one word that comes from human is to be humane, but the behavior we have indulged in has left an ugly stain. And until we stand for peace, all our efforts are in vain. There'll just be another lost soul and another child slain. We need to end the violence and the aggression and the discrimination. And the only way to do that is to become one nation. One nation united, one nation undivided. One nation to fight the attitudes that are only one-sided. One God, one planet, one people, one race. Help me build a world with a compassionate face.
Man made humility, simple truth, more powerful than empire. And Albert Einstein added, generations come scarce believe such a one as this, ever in flesh and blood.